guys. We are back with another song by Eminem, and we're still doing recovery. So, what song are we doing today?
Today we're doing On Fire. Do you know it?
I don't think I do.
So this isn't a song that I personally listen to a lot,
Okay.
so I doubt you would know it from me.
Yeah, then I probably don't know it.
It's cool. It's an interesting song, or he even says this isn't a song in it. It's more of like a showcase of his skills.
Okay, so there's like no chorus or
No,
anything?
there is actually, but you'll see he makes reference to what he's doing in this song, so
Okay.
yeah, you'll see.
Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media channels, links in the description below, and our username's right here. Okay, very good.
All right. On Fire.
You know, critics, man, critics never got nothing nice to say, man. You know, the one thing I noticed about critics, man, is critics never ask me how my day went. Well, I'ma tell them. Yesterday my dog died. A hog tied a hoe, tied her in the bow. Said next time you blog, try to spit a flow. You wanna criticize, dog? Try a little more. I'm so tired of the socket blow. Fire in the hole. I'm fired up, so fire up the lighter in the drove. Better hold on a little tighter, here I go. Flows tighter, hot-headed as Ghost Rider. Cold-hearted as Spider-Man, throwing a spider in the snow. So you better get blowing and flow rider inside of a low rider with no tires in the hole. Why am I like this? Why is winter cold? Why is it when I talk I'm so biased to the hoes? Listen dog, Christmas is off. This is as soft as it gets. This isn't golf. This is a blister and assault. Those are your wounds, this is the salt. So get lost. To sit dissing me is just like pissing off the Wizard of Oz. Wrap a lizard in gauze. Beat you in the jaws with it. Grab the scissors and saws. And cut out your livers, gizzards and balls. Throw you in the middle of the ocean in the blizzard with jaws. So sit pissed like scissor through a straw. Then describe how it tasted like dessert to us all. Got the gall to make Chris piss in his drawers. Tickle him, go to his grave, skip him and visit his dog.
Chris who? Okay.
Christopher.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, it's very funny. All right, so yeah, we'll get to that. It's a very funny reference. So he starts off, he's just talking in this little intro to the song. He says, yeah, critics, man, critics never got nothing nice to say, man. The one thing I noticed about critics, man, is critics never ask me how my day went. Well, I'm gonna tell them. And then he just goes into this verse. So he says, yesterday my dog died. I hog-tied a hoe, tied her in a bow, said next time. So wait, is it next time you blow up? Actually, you have an earpiece in? I want you to
Yeah.
tell me what. So he said next time I want you to tell me what you're hearing, okay?
Okay.
A hog tied a hoe, tied her in the bow. Said next time you blog, try to spit a flow.
I'm hearing what's written on the screen.
So I think, let's see.
I would check the.
I have Genius. So I think he says the next time you blog. Okay, that's what Genius is saying too.
Genius is saying what?
Blog. Next time you blog. One more time.
You blog, try to spit a flow. You said next time you blog, try to spit a flow. Said next time you blog, try to spit a flow. Said next time you blog, try to spit a flow. Said next time you blog, try to spit a flow.
I'm hearing blog now. That's what I thought it was. That's why I was like, let me listen to this.
Who's he talking to?
So, okay, so he says, yesterday my dog died. I hog-tied a hoe, tied her in a bow. So this is the hoe that he hog-tied. He said, next time you blog, try and spit a flow. So it sounds like he's hog-tying this critic who has a blog talking shit about him. And that makes
I
more
was wondering if it's anyone specific.
So that makes more sense in the context because, the next line is, you want to criticize, dog, try a little mo. So I do believe it's blog.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has a slight accent on the way he delivers the line. It does sound like blow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so yeah, if I think it's blog, you guys let me know.
No, it's definitely blog. It makes more sense.
Yeah. So then he says, yeah, so next time you blog, try to spit a flow, saying like, you don't rap, you know what I mean? You want to criticize me, critique what I'm doing, saying it sucks or whatever, it's this and that. They're like, I don't see you rhyming, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't do
Yeah.
this, so shut up. And then he says, you want to criticize dog, try a little mo. I'm so tired of this, I could blow. Fire in the hole. I'm fired up, so fire up the lighter and the dro. So I like, he did fire a bunch of times there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's getting very pissed off at the critics, and he's saying, you might as well get high to this. Better hold on a little tighter. Here I go. Flows tighter. Hot headed as Ghost Rider. So do you know that? Do you know
His
that
like
reference?
head's on in flames, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
no idea what that even is though. I just know that.
I'm trying to think. Is he a superhero? I don't know if he's a superhero. He's like, I guess he's a superhero. Nicolas Cage played him, I believe. Whatever. He's a fictional character, and he has a skull and flames for a head, and he rides a bike. So yeah, hot-headed as Ghost Rider, flaming head. And then he goes from hot-headed to cold-hearted as Spider-Man throwing a spider in the snow, which is such a funny
Yeah, I was like,
line.
what does that mean?
So he's going from hot-headed to cold-hearted, and then he's saying it would be cold. So obviously the story of Spider-Man is he was bit by a radioactive spider, and then he
Yeah.
became the superhero. So then he's saying, Spider-Man being,
Oh, like he should empathize with
yeah,
spiders.
being indifferent
Okay.
to a spider, throwing it in the snow. It's funny. And he says, so you better get lower than Flow Rider inside of a low rider with no tires in the hole. In a hole, maybe in the hole. So you better get low. So that's the name of the Flow Rider song, Get Low.
Yeah.
He says inside of a low rider, which is obviously
A
low.
low car.
Yes, with no tires, which would make it even lower.
They're not going anywhere.
And then in a hole, which is
Even lower.
yes. So it's very funny. Then he says, why am I like this? Why is winter cold? So he's answering the question of why
Yeah,
am I like
just
this with another question. And then he says, why is it when I talk I'm so biased to the hose? Listen, dog, Christmas is off. This is as soft as it gets. This isn't golf. This is a blistering assault. Those are your wounds. This is the salt. So get lost.
eat.
So yeah, again, he's saying he's biased. He's talking shit about, women. And then he says Christmas is off. So you know that expression, like, Christmas is off. There's no Christmas this year, like meaning, there's no holiday, there's no break, there's
Isn't that
no.
usually like a punishment thing?
Yes, so that's his point.
Yeah.
He's like Christmas is off, meaning, none of that nice, lovey, holiday warm spirit. He's like Christmas is off. That's not happening. And then on that same note, he says, this is as soft as it gets. So, he's talking about, he gets criticized for like his content and then he's so biased to the hose, as he says. But he's like, this is as soft as I get. It only gets worse from here. You know what I mean? This is him being nice, kind of, talking all that shit. Then he says, this isn't golf. This is a blistering assault. So, golf, I guess, is, laid back, relax.
Yeah.
He says, those
Let's
are,
hear my dad.
yeah. He says, those are your wounds. This is the salt. So get lost. So putting salt in your wounds. He says, shit, dissing me is just like pissing off the Wizard of Oz. So,
Bad idea.
yes. Then he says, wrap a lizard in gauze, beat you in the jaws with it, grab the scissors and saws, and cut out your livers, gizzards, and balls. So
Why the lizard?
I love this line, the way he does it. So it sounds like so silly and stupid, like, oh, wrap a lizard in gauze, But so, yes, he's literally wrapping a lizard in gauze, and then he's going to beat you in the jaw with it, and then grab scissors and saws. So the way he delivers the line, you hear the alliteration of the scissors and saws, and then cut out your livers, gizzards, and balls. So it sounds like, is he going to be cutting out the person and the lizards? You know what I mean?
No, just
Livers.
the person. This is
'Cause-
your. He's not talking to the lizard.
Yeah, but he's mentioning the gizzards as well. So it's like humans don't have gizzards.
Well, gizzard, I believe, is just another term for either your intestines or like your balls and your penis.
Yeah.
Let me double check on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you never hear referred to as gizzards with the human anatomy. I mean, I'm half joking here, but obviously he meant the person, but I was like, oh, maybe he is
Yeah, it's
gonna
just the like internal
the innards.
organs.
Yeah.
Like the stomach and such.
Yeah, it's funny.
Let's see what it is in a human. Yeah, it's the stomach. So he's gonna rip out your stomach, your liver, and your balls.
Yes. Then he continues, throw you in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, giblets. I think
Giblets.
that's the balls and the penis when they're talking about like an animal.
That's funny.
Ugh.
So yeah, it says throw you in the middle of the ocean in a blizzard with jaws. So I guess I'm assuming it's the same person. So he just, cut out all their insides and then throwing you in the middle of the ocean so you're stranded. But on top of that, it's throwing a blizzard, which it's fucking freezing. And on top of that, Jaws is in the water. So, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying he really beats up his competition. Overkill.
Yeah.
Then he says, so sip piss like scissor through a straw.
No.
Then describe how it tasted like dessert to us all, which is funny. I'm wondering if he's anticipating that they're going to say that or he's making them say that it tastes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
like
he's
dessert.
making them say it.
Yeah. And then he says, got the gall to make Chris piss in his drawers. Wait, does that actually say tickling him? Let's see, I have the lyrics here. Yeah, tickle him, not tickle him. Tickle him, go to his grave, skip him, and visit his dog.
I don't think you can tickle him.
Yes.
I don't think he feels it.
Yeah, so
his face, maybe.
Christopher Reeves, because he was dead at this point, like we on the skit on Relapse, we hear from Paul, who's upset. They're like, you realize the guy's dead, right? So Christopher Reeves, who is a common, target of Eminem, I'm almost positive that's who he's referring to. He says, got the gall to make Chris piss in his drawers, tickle him, go to his grave, skip him, and visit his dog. So he's going to go to his grave, but he's not actually going to visit him. He's going to visit his dog. I wonder if his dog was buried with him. Like, I wonder if that's like actual, you know what I mean? Like a real thing.
Maybe.
Or he's just saying that as an insult.
Yeah.
All right. This is where we left off. Go here.
And visit this dog. You're on fire. That's how you know you're on the road. Cause when you're hot, it's like you're burning up everyone else's cold. You're on fire. And I'm so fucking sick, I got ambulances pulling me over and shit. You're on fire. You need to stop dropping rolls when you say the shit to get the whole hip hop shop to blow. You're on fire. Yeah, you're on fire. Yeah. I just put a bullshit hook in between two long-ass verses. If you mistook this for a song, look, this ain't a song, it's a warning to Brooke, Hogan and David Crook, that the crook just took over, so book, run as fast as you can, stop writing and kill it, I'm lightning in the skillet, you're a fucking flash in the pan, I pop up, you bitches scatter like hot grease splashing the fan, Mr. Mathis is the man, yeah, I'm pissed, but I would rather take this energy and stash it in the can, come back and whip your ass with it again. Saliva's like sulfuric acid in your hand. It'll leak through anything metal, the ass of Iron Man. Turn them into plastic, so for you to think that you can stand a fucking chance is asinine. Yeah, asinine, man. Hit a blind man with a coloring book and told him color inside the lines or get hit with a blind crayon. Fucking I ain't playing. Pull up in a van and hop out on a homeless man holding a sign saying Vietnam vet. I'm out my fucking mind, man. Kick over the can, beat his ass and leave him $9 grand. So if I seem a little mean to you, this ain't savage, you ain't never seen a brew. You wanna get graphic, we can go to scenic route. You couldn't make a bulimic puke on a piece of fucking corn and peanut poop. Saying you sick, quit playing, you prick, don't nobody care. Why the fuck am I yelling at air? I ain't even talking to no one cause ain't nobody there. Nobody will fucking test me cause these hoes won't even dare. I'm wasting punchlines, but I got so many to spare. I just thought of another one that might go here. Nah, I don't waste it, save the cycle, yeah. Plus you gotta rewrite those lines that you set up on Michael's hair. You're on fire. That's how you know you're on the road. Cause when you're hot, it's like you're burning up everyone else's cold. You're on fire. Man, I'm so hot, my motherfucking fire truck's on fire, homie. You're on fire. You need to stop dropping rolls when you say the shit to get the whole hip-hop shop to blow. You're on fire. Yeah, you're on fire. Oh, shit, you're on fire. fire.
So I do have to say really quick before I forget,
Yeah.
the chorus reminds me of that 50 Cent song.
Which one?
Or it's G Unit or 50 Cent. It's like on fire.
Oh, Lloyd Banks.
Yeah. Lloyd Banks.
On fire. Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
Me too. It's funny. It's like right around. So Lloyd Banks' album came out before this, but I agree.
It reminds me
on
of
fire.
it a lot.
So
Like a loose, like not serious version.
yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. So you obviously picked up on it. He said it. So he's like ironically doing this, and scattered throughout the song are like lines that are on their face. They're like kind of corny. You know what I mean?
And like kind of random.
Yes, but he's like aware of it. That's kind of like the point of it. You know what I mean? Like he says, which
He's
we'll get.
writing like a song that the critics could like a song that's actually bad.
So not that it's
I
bad,
don't
but
know.
like he's like, so it's not a song in their typical, you know what I mean? It's not like a dancing song or whatever. It's just him showcasing his rhyming skills, and he's throwing in these lines that are like kind of like somewhat corny, but like it's intentional. You know what I mean?
So is it serious or not serious? Is it
So
intentionally
so
good or intentionally
so no,
bad?
so like when he says he's like I got ambulances pulling me over and shit. Like he's not saying that like seriously. Like obviously he doesn't mean it literally, but he's not even meaning that like like oh that's how hot like as if we're supposed to believe that. Like he's being tongue in cheek when he's saying that like oh
Okay.
yeah I'm so hot this is what happens, but like he's joking. Do you know what I mean? But the undertone and is like I really am better than everybody. You know what I mean? I can do a song like this. My rhymes are so good.
Yeah,
Like
then
he
I can
says,
do like a weird little song here and it'll still be listened to and like played and whatnot.
yeah, exactly. He's like, I always punchline. You know what I mean? So it's funny. There's like kind of a weird thing he's doing here. Like there's definitely people that fucking hate the song and they criticize it and they're like, what the fuck? These bars are corny. But it's like
Yeah,
some
like there are some lines where I'm like, what's going on? Like out of nowhere he says like Mr. Mathers is the man.
yeah.
Like, what?
It's funny. Yeah, it's more so like he says again, it's not really a song. It's more like it does kind of read more like a freestyle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a mixtape track where he's just fucking around, you know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah.
traditional album track, which it's funny that he put it on here. But there is some like really fucking good shit in here. So yes, the chorus is you're on fire. That's how you know you're on a roll. Because when you're hot, it's like you're burning up. Everyone else is cold. You're on fire. And then he says, "Man, I'm so fucking sick. I got ambulances pulling me over and shit." So
Okay.
it's like he's bragging, but
It's
like
like
joking,
funny.
but like
It's a double entendre.
yeah, it's like a meta thing. You know what I mean? It's like yes, I'm being tongue in cheek, but also I really am better than you. You know, it's like funny. And then he says, "You're on fire. You need to stop, drop, and roll. Because when you say the shit to get the whole hip hop shop to blow, you're on fire. Yeah, you're on fire." So hip hop shop is a place where you used to battle and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I didn't know what that
it was
was.
like a venue.
Hmm.
All right. So then he gets into the second and final verse, and he says, "I just wrote a bullshit hook in between two long ass verses. If you mistook this for a song, look, this ain't." Yeah, hold on. This is worded weird. It's fucking me up. So, between two long ass verses, if you mistook this for a song, look, this ain't a song. It's a warning to Brooke Hogan and David Cook that the crook just took over. So book. All right, so hold on. We'll break that down real quick. So yes, he's making note of he took a fucking bullshit hook and made a song out of it and just put two very long verses. Then he says, "This ain't a song. It's a warning to Brooke Hogan and David Cook."
What did Brooke Hogan do?
So I don't know if you remember, she was like
She had songs.
yes.
Actually, when I was younger, I actually liked them.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Because it was like the Paris Hilton era. So like
Yo, I like that Paris Hilton song. And she had another song.
Stars Are Blind?
Yeah,
I know all the words to that song.
it's very catchy. Didn't she have a song with like Fat Joe or something too? I believe she had another
Paris
song.
Hilton?
Yes.
I only remember Nothing in This World and Stars Are Blind.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty
she
sure.
definitely had more.
Yeah, I think she had another one with like a real rapper on it. Oh, Jesus, that scared me. It's like really loud thunder, like right on our
Like that
house.
like earth shattering kind where like It sounds like an earthquake.
Yeah, like it
Do
hit the
earthquakes
house.
have sound? I don't know. I've never experienced an earthquake. They're just really fucking loud.
Yeah, it startled the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so yes, Brooke Hogan was like, doing music and shit at this
Yeah.
time, and obviously they had. Oh
And
my
that's Hulk
goodness.
Hogan's daughter, if no one knows.
Correct. They had a. I'm a little scared. They had
Oh,
a
really?
reality show, so that's how she got famous and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then she started making songs and stuff.
Yes, and then David Cook.
Yeah, I don't know who David Cook is.
I believe he was like one of those
Hey, Doofy.
like American
Hey,
Idol,
Bobby.
or America's Got Talent, like one of those people.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. So
Okay.
so he says this ain't a song, it's a warning to Brooke Hogan and David Cook that the crook just took over. So Book, right? So, him, he's the crook and he's taking shit over, right?
Yeah.
Then he says, so Book. And then he continues in the next line. He says, run as fast as you can, stop writing and kill it.
Okay.
So, but he does the stop writing, goes back to the so book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
Luna's distracting me.
yeah, it's okay. So, yes, he's saying the crook just took over, so book, so you better run, right?
Yes.
But then he says, run as fast as you can, stop writing and kill it. So you would write a book. So writing a book, you know what I mean? The
Mhm.
other meaning. And then he says, I'm lightning in a skillet. You're a fucking flash in the pan.
Yeah.
So obviously lightning in a skillet. This is so crazy. She's so scared if you guys can.
Lightning and skillet. Yeah. Okay.
So he says, I'm lightning in a skillet. You're a fucking flash in the pan. So
Okay,
obviously,
so like literally nothing.
yeah, flash in the pan was, yeah, flash in the pan is like a short, little something, and lightning in a skillet is obviously way more powerful. And then he says, I pop up, you bitches scatter like hot grease, splash in a fan. Mr. Mathers is the man.
Mr. Mathers is the man.
Yes. So I pop up, you bitches scatter like hot grease. So obviously that goes back to the flash in the pan from the line before.
That's a good one.
And then he says, splash in a fan, so like the hot grease.
Yeah.
And then he says, Mr. Mathers is the man, which, he's obviously Mr. Mathers. He's the man. Then he says, yeah, I'm pissed, but I would rather take this energy and stash it in a can, come back and whip your ass with it again.
Stash it in a can.
Stash it in a can.
Okay.
Do you get it or no?
Like to save it for later, a can of whoop ass?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay,
says,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm pissed.
I hope you guys can hear me.
Oh, yeah.
She's kind of like in the way of me and the microphone. It's okay. I think you can hear me.
Yes. He says,
But if you couldn't before, I'm sorry.
I think we'll be all right. So he says, yeah, I'm pissed, but I would rather take this energy and stash it in a can. So yeah, he's angry now, but he'd rather take his anger, save it for later, like you just said, come back and whip your ass with it again.
Yeah.
So, do it again later. And then, here we go. He says, saliva is like sulfuric acid in your hand. So obviously,
Some saliva is melting through your hand.
erosive,
Yeah.
Then he says, it'll eat through anything metal. It'll eat through anything metal, the ass of Iron Man. So he's saying it'll eat through anything. It'll eat through metal. Yes, the ass of Iron Man. Then he says, turn him into plastic. So for you to think that you could stand a fucking chance is asinine. So he's going to turn Iron Man, which is obviously made of iron, into plastic. And then he says, so for you to think you could stand a chance is asinine. It's crazy for you to think that since he could do that to Iron Man,
Yeah.
And then he says, yeah, ask Danon, man. It says the 9 man, which isn't a thing. Danon Porter, he's con artist from D12.
Oh, okay.
And he's like his hype man these days. He's on stage with him all the time.
Interesting.
Yes. So he says, yeah, ask Danon, man. And then he says, hit a blind man with a coloring book and told him color inside the lines or get hit with a flying crayon. So yeah, he throws the coloring book at a blind person and then tells him, you better color inside the lines, which obviously he can't see color, but he can't see the coloring book. So there's no way he's going to color inside the lines. So he's ultimately going to get hit with the flying crayon because, it's not going to
Poor
happen.
guy.
Yes. And he says, fuck it, I ain't playing. Pull up in a van and hop out at a homeless man. I thought it was like on a homeless man. Let's see what the lyrics over here say. Yeah, and hop out on a homeless man holding a sign saying Vietnam vet. And he says, I'm out my fucking mind, man. Kick over the can, beat his ass, and leave him $9,000. Which is so funny. I love the way he says that. So yeah, he's gonna pull up in a van, hop out on the homeless guy that says he's a Vietnam vet. Then he's gonna kick over the can that is collecting the money. He's gonna beat him up, but then he's gonna give him $9,000 at the end of it.
Still, don't beat him up.
Yeah.
Just give him the money.
Yeah. But he's out of
Still getting hair in my mouth.
out of his mind, so that's what he's
Yeah.
doing.
I find it.
And then he says, so if I seem a little mean to you, this ain't savage, you ain't never seen a brute. So, let me finish the line. Then he says, you want to get graphic, we could take the scenic route. So he says, so if I seem a little mean to you, this ain't savage. So he's saying like, oh,
Like, this isn't even mean.
yes. And then he says, you ain't never seen a brute, meaning
Like
like,
a mean guy.
yeah, I'll show you.
Or like me being mean.
Yes. And then I love this bar. He says, you want to get graphic, we can take the scenic route. So
It's
obviously
funny.
graphic, scenic route is, it's
Pretty
scenery,
scenic.
visual. It's graphic.
It's scenic.
Yeah, it's graphic. So
The graphic route.
then he says, you couldn't make a bulimic puke on a piece of fucking corn and peanut poop.
Ugh.
So
Ugh.
obviously bulimic people make themselves throw up. And he's saying you couldn't make a bulimic person throw up, even if there was shit that had peanuts and corn in it in front of them. So like that's how not good you are. That's how much you suck. Then he says, saying you sick, quit playing you prick, don't nobody care. Then he says, then why the fuck am I yelling at the air? And then
I don't know.
he follows that thought by saying, I ain't even talking to no one because ain't nobody there. Nobody will fucking test me because these hoes won't even dare.
Interesting.
So he's kind of making, light of the fact that he's like going so hard in the song. And he's like, but I'm just yelling at nobody. But then
There he
saying,
goes, yelling at no one.
yeah, there's nobody that will even go against him or will even try because, they are. What's she doing? There's nobody that'll go against him or even try because, he's so much better. They won't dare test him.
Of course not.
And then he says, I'm wasting punchlines, but I got so many to spare.
Yeah.
I just thought of another one that might go here. Then he says, nah, don't waste it. Save it, psycho. Yeah. Plus, you got to rewrite those lines that you said about Michael's hair. Okay, so I'm wasting punchlines, but I got so many to spare, right? So he's so good. He has, endless amounts of punchlines.
Yeah.
And, he could waste a few of them in this bullshit song, like he's saying, right? And then he says, I just thought of another one that might go right here. And then he has the thought, no, don't waste it. Save it, psycho. Yeah. So it's funny. He goes from saying, I'm wasting punchlines. I have so many to spare. It doesn't matter. And then he's like, I have another one right now. And then he's like,
ever find out which one that is?
so no, but I love the way he ends the song. He goes, no, don't waste it. Save it, psycho. Yeah. Right. So he's like, okay, I'm not going to waste this punchline. Then he says, plus you got to rewrite those lines that you said about Michael's hair.
Michael Jackson.
So yes, so this is what's so funny though. So obviously Michael Jackson famously he was doing the Pepsi commercial and his hair lit on fire. And this song's called On Fire.
Yeah.
But he says you got to rewrite those lines that you said about Michael's hair. And there's no other reference in the song to Michael's hair, right? So he actually technically did rewrite those lines about Michael's hair.
Oh, okay, because you can't even find them anywhere.
And we're only hearing this part. You know what I mean? Where he's telling himself that he has to rewrite the ones at some earlier point in, the song.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
I know it is. So
I guess that's his way of still keeping in information about
yeah, and it's a creative way to take.
Michael Jackson, even though he was told not to, right?
Yeah, his agent or whoever called. Yeah, so yeah, hit Michael Jackson's hair on fire, and then he goes, "You're on fire. That's how you know you're on a roll." Okay, so we did this whole part, and then he does a little different thing at the end, right? Am I making shit? Oh yeah, never mind. It's the in between lines. He says, "Man, I'm so hot, my motherfucking fire truck's on fire, homie." And then,
Well, that sucks.
that's the one little ad lib that he adds. Okay, on fire.
So it's definitely interesting. I don't love it. It was kind of, it seems a little haphazard to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
So I mean, I like the song. It's it's not my favorite. I don't listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
It does seem like it was intentional, like the the fact that he's like, oh, I just took a bullshit hook and made two long ass verses that aren't anything. There's no like common theme to the each verse. It's just him spitting. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
rapping, rhyming, and talking shit,
Yeah, it just
which
seems like a
is
mixtape thing, like you said.
yeah, which is cool. But the fact that he makes note of it and he just wants to showcase his ability to rhyme about all these random fucking bizarre things and then make a joke of it. But again, like I was saying before, it's tongue in cheek, but it's also like also I really am kind of better than everybody that I can just do this and put this on a fucking album. You know what I mean? So it's cool for that reason. I like that.
What do you think of it?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sure
like
this video was distracting. She was
Think you like it?
terrified at the thunder and wanted to come up.
Think you like it? I think she liked it.
Yes.
She's not sure.
Yes.
So let me know later.
Yes.
Keep you posted. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.